have a whole bad year. We're gonna have an entire year that sucks 365 shit cunt days in a row.
Supreme victory!
Louis C.K., one of the best comics alive and probably gonna go down as one of the greatest of all time, just can't catch a break. He is under fire once again. So we all know that he's been under the mercy of the Me Too movement because, you know, he's kind of a pervert. He likes to do some weird things. You know, I'm pretty sure most of you guys know, but I guess if you don't, he just likes to ask, you know, his female comics or coworkers if they would like to watch him jerk off, you know, and some of them would say yeah, some of them would say no, but the problem is just even asking, you know, they're saying there's a power dynamic and it's inappropriate, and I think there's a lot of nuances, a lot of things to explore, because I think in certain situations it can be inappropriate. Like, say, if it's someone that normally maybe wouldn't like you, but because you are who you are, like Louis C.K., then, oh, you think you can wow, was I just having a stroke? You think you could convince them, or, you know, maybe they say yes, like, reluctantly. Like, you can tell when somebody doesn't really want to do something, but then it's like, sure, I'll do it. It's kind of like the word sure. Like, say there's
Sure.
and then there's like,
Sure.
and in those moments, you should make the best judgment and make sure, like, the social cues are adhered to. But I don't know. None of us really know. Only Louis C.K. and the girls know. And the only thing we can really go off of is what Sarah Silverman said.
I don't know if I'm going to regret saying this, but I've known Louis forever. I'm not making excuses for him. Please don't take this that way. But, you know, we are peers. We're equals. So, you know, when I was, you know, when we were kids and he asked if he could masturbate in front of me, sometimes I'd go, fuck yeah, I want to see that.
Really?
Yeah, it's like science. But it's not analogous to the other women in this that are talking about the predicament, you know, the what he did to them, because he could offer me nothing. We were only just friends. So sometimes, yeah, I wanted to see it. It was amazing. Sure. Sometimes I'd be like, fucking gross, no, and we'd get pizza. So I'm not saying what he does is okay. What he did was okay. I'm just saying at a certain point, when he became an influential, not even famous, but influential in the world of comedy, it changes, because and he realized that. He realized it later, but certainly before that New York Times, and even in that New York Times article, forgive me, they talk about how he went on and tried to connect with some of these women to say, I fucked up and wronged you and I want to make this right.
He then took a hiatus, and then, you know, he apologized and did some reflecting. I'm assuming he did. And he slowly, which we knew, was like, he's gonna come back. So we started doing some sets low key. He started performing at the clubs, and, you know, a lot of those clubs, it's no cameras involved. You know, you're not supposed to film stuff. You're not supposed to record things. But of course, when it's that high of a profile, of course people are gonna record it, and some things got leaked eventually. And because people love being offended by nothing, people were just freaking out, of course. They had to do it. They had to do it. They had to act like this was the craziest thing ever because of some of the things that he said in his set. Like, there was even Twitter moments, you know, when they compile things, like you go in the search and it's like, Louis C.K. is under fire. Oh my gosh. And it shows all these progressive ideologues being all super angry. Like this one dude, check this out. He says that Louis C.K. is basically a right-wing comic now. He's saying that he's basically Mayo Yiannopoulos. And that... So here's the clip in question that people are so offended by.
I'm a little disappointed in the younger generation, honestly, because I'm 51 years old, and when I was like 18 to my 20s, I mean, we were idiots. We were getting high, doing fucking mushrooms and shit, and then older people were like, you gotta get your shit together, and we were like, yeah, fuck you. And I was kind of excited to be in my 50s and see people in their 20s and be like, they're crazy. These kids are nuts, but they're not. They're fucking, they're just boring. Fucking telling them, you shouldn't say that. What are you, an old lady? What the fuck are you doing? That's not appropriate. Fuck you, you're a child. Why are you finger fucking each other and doing jello shots? Like, why aren't you, You should address me. They're like royalty. They tell you what to call them.
Fuck 'em.
You should address me as they, them. Because I identify as gender neutral. Oh, okay. Okay. You should address me as there. Because I identify as a location. And the location is your mother's cunt. It doesn't have to be that nasty. But it can be. I don't know, they testify in front of Congress, these kids? Like, what the fuck? What are you doing? You're young, you should be crazy. You should be unhinged. Not in a suit saying, I'm here to tell, fuck you. You're not interesting. Because you went to a high school where kids got shot? Why does that mean I have to listen to you? How does that make you interesting? You didn't get shot, you pushed some fat kid in the way, and then now I gotta listen to you talking?
Oh my goodness! I never thought Louis C.K. would ever joke about anything that offensive. I can't believe he would do something like that. How insensitive. Oh my gosh, he is pandering to the right. Or he's just being Louis C.K. So I discovered him probably like 10 years ago when he came out with his special Chewed Up.
Faggot didn't mean gay. When I was a kid, you call somebody faggot because they're being a faggot, you know? Someone's just being a faggot. Nah, shut up, faggot. Not supposed to use those for that. Shut up, faggot.
And then he came out with his special Hilarious, and that's the one that sealed the deal for me, where I was like, okay, I absolutely love this man.
So I'm looking at the couple, and they're walking on the other side of the street, and they have a child with them. But I can't see their child because there's like a dumpster and some other stuff. I just see like a little head. And I'm waiting. I'm curious what their kid looks like because they're so beautiful. Maybe I want to fuck their kid. I don't know. That's just me saying something terrible because it makes me laugh that it upsets you. That's all that is.
Okay, now that you heard the two clips from Chewed Up and Hilarious, and you heard that one clip from his recent set, does it seem like he's changed at all? Like, is it him that's changed? Or is it the progressive ideologues that are changing? The ones that are always moving the goalpost. They're always got to be more offended by something. They got to do much more language policing. Like, it's bleeding into everything. I always say this. This is the reason why channels like mine exist and a lot of other people that are in the same realm, because it just keeps getting wackier and wackier. And comedians aren't safe, and they haven't been for a while. That's why a lot aren't even going to college campuses. They don't want to perform there. People are too sensitive. They're tripping out that they're like, dude, usually old people are the ones that would be like offended, and then young kids would be like, yeah, you know, that's how it usually works, the teenage angst, and you always want to be edgy and stuff. But now you got people that are on the left, which is the craziest thing, that are language and tone policing artists. Like, that's, I'm like, I thought that's what old conservatives did, and we laughed at them. But this is what's happening. Now it's getting to the point where you're not even safe on your old social media because they're digging. Like somebody like Kevin Hart, right? Kevin Hart got in trouble for some old tweets where he said something kind of homophobic, but you know, it's a joke. But it doesn't matter that it's a joke anymore because context doesn't mean shit. We already know context went completely out the window because of Count Dankula.
You're all a bunch of fucking Nazis for laughing at that.
Chris Rock recently came under fire for some old shit he was doing. It's never ending. And the thing is, it's like, I want it to end. I would much rather, honestly, even though, like, say, I gained a career off of this, I would much rather have things just chill out because I can do other things. This isn't the end all be all, and it would actually be much better, and I think it would save a lot of people headaches if we can just all, you know, watch our comedians, we can all just chill and play our video games, we can watch our movies without having people being ultra offended by everything. So when your progressive friends say things such as,
I don't think SJWs are real,
tell them to shut the fuck up.
Shut up, faggot.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you had a good new year. Want to give a big shout out to my mega sexy patrons, those of you that are still left after, you know, it imploding. And I also want to say that I have my second channel that I'm going to be using a lot more. It is now called Black Chad, and I would appreciate it if you subscribe to it because I'm going to have a lot of good commentary, like apolitical commentary up on there. So check it out. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.